So here is Bitcoin. I wanted to do a quick update on that first. I've been out for most of the day, so just catching up. So I want to make it pretty clear that my primary account hasn't changed. Let's just go over what my primary account is. So we had indicated that here was the top of wave 3, and that the next step was the wave 4. While this could have been a WXY, I felt that it just wasn't deep enough. It barely went over to the zone of wave 4. So what I wanted to then also say was, if this is not wave 4, this must be wave A of the wave 4 correction. And what we saw here, which is very three-wave-ish, was not a very impulsive. You can just visually even look at it and see A, B, C. So if this WXY, or you even call it ABC, was A, then my projected pathway was that we have an A. This also here was a three-wave-ish. B. And we are working on C. And I still maintain that C will be a potential all-time new high. And the rationale behind that is that given the commonality of the expanded flat correction that I had been seeing in the cryptos, more common here than in equities, there is a probable likelihood that we're seeing an A, B, where the flat, expanded flat, means that B goes higher than the prior peak, which is a peak here 3 for 3. So A, B, and C, which will give us the true wave 4 bottom. And if we zoom in here, we have this three-wave looking A, B, and then from here C has to be impulsive. You need to count 5 waves. And it's going pretty well, hugging that line going up to the pathway that these are my original markings. So I had said I see 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought, well, maybe it's an A, B, and it can go straight down C. So instead of making the all-time high, maybe go down from here. that is possible. And since we have new price data, it can go down from here. It fits ABC. And that's something that I'm going to look out for. But that's not my primary count. What I'm thinking is we have A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 of C. We've now put in 2 of C with an ABC here. And we're now going to work on 3 of C, 4, and then 5. Not sure exactly whether it'll go this high or just above the prior peak. I don't know yet. We could have shorter 3, 4, and an extended 5th. Some are still calling this is going to be the primary count. The reason why I don't think this is going to work out, well, the reason why it's my alternate count this way and not my primary count is, let's go back to the daily. It gets really busy when you start putting in subwaves. The reason why this is not my primary is because the MACD I don't think has enough has recharged enough to collapse it from here from 4,400 to, let's say, 2,400 by 2,000 buckaroos. From here, MACD will have to go down. And given that it took from here to all the way down here just to give from 5,000 to 3,000, $2,000, from here to just a little more, it could collapse more than that, of course. But there's a big difference. From here to bring 2,000. If you want to go another $2,000 from 4,500 to 4,400 to 2,400, there's not enough bearish mojo in the MACD to collapse it. So this primary count of expanded A, B, C will allow the MACD to recharge, and most likely it won't go higher than the prior peak on the MACD. This higher high will be made with a lower high of the MACD, but the MACD will have recharged enough to collapse it. And it will be a classic divergence of the MACD with lower low, but the crypto price with a higher high. Whereby still MACD will have recharged enough of its bearish mojo to start collapsing. It was when I saw this about to cross that I put out my blog the other week saying now is not the time to be taking selling actions here. It was back around here. Rather, now was time to be taking buying actions because this was about to cross. Sure enough, it did cross. There could be a correction here, a dip. This will dip with it, maybe even touch it. And if it does correct, let's say down to 4,100, the bear is going to start calling out again, saying, oh my gosh, we're going to see 2,000, we're going to see 1,500. Meanwhile, I still wouldn't be convinced. My primary count is an expanded flat, where we will see a new all-time high as part of the B wave in a 5-wave impulse. And then a face-ripping crash or correction from here to here. It will most likely catch everyone unexpected, I think. All the bulls. Because when it goes MACD's flying high, but not on a new high, flying higher. Prices going to all-time new highs. Sentiment's going to get giddy again. FOMO's going to go in, set in. People are going to start piling in, which is then going to maybe extend the 5th wave. And then the rug is going to get pulled out of them. And this here could last maybe even into the rest of October from a time frame wise. I don't know exactly when, but I can revise that. I can revise that as we get more price data. But for now, I'm putting it into maybe mid-October-ish or so. So we should start cranking. That's what I'm saying. If we put in wave 1 and 2, 3 still is very vigorous, a lot of vitality, we should start cranking soon. That's why overnight last night I thought we should breach 4,400, but we didn't. That's okay. It has not changed my primary count. So I hope that clarifies the reason as to why this is my primary count and why I'm not sharing the view that it could head down from there all the way down to 2,500. MACD doesn't have enough, hasn't recharged enough of its mojo to carry it down that low. Okay, so if you have any questions, comments, please do post.